And I'm live. Hi, everybody. This is Tripti. And if you're new on my page, I manage this Trips Global Marketing. And today is our episode 2 of Business Testimonial Series. We are a big community of more than 90,000 people who run our digital businesses from around the globe. And this is my effort to bring people from around the globe to share their journey and how this business has helped them. So today I'm bringing a very awesome couple from our community to come and share with us. So without further delay, I'm going to get them on board here. Hi, Mark and Glenda.
Hi there.
Hi there.
Thank you. First of all, I want to take this opportunity to thank you for accepting my invitation and taking up this time to join me on my page to share about your business journey and how this about our global community. So thank you so much.
Well, thank you very much for having us.
It's a pleasure to be here.
Yeah, Mark and Glenda are really, I always approach them, reach out to them. They are coaches in our community. And, we have so many coaches and wonderful people. We all work on our businesses, but I think somewhere we are connected. So, so first of all, I would love to know, and our viewers would love to know more about both of you. So please introduce yourself and we'll go from there.
Yeah, hey, so we're Mark and Glenda. We're from Edmonton, Alberta, and we've lived around here for most of our life within the area. We both come from corporate kind of background roles or previous jobs, and we worked for 30 and over 20 some years for Glenda in corporate type of jobs, and really into the grind, so to speak, and now we work online. We do this full time. We're loving life online, and it's been fantastic. So
yeah, we started our business. It'll
2019.
be almost 2 years ago. So
yeah,
Awesome, wonderful. Thank you, Farhana, for joining. She's saying good to see Mark and Glenda. Yeah, same here. I think so. It's wonderful to know, like you both are doing this full time, and are able to make a move online. I think it's a dream for so many people, but then they are reluctant because we think that the laptop lifestyle or this way of making a living is only limited for a few. I mean, that is what I thought. Like, until I came across this business opportunity, I always thought that it would need a lot of technical knowledge and it would be like really hard for me to really make that kind of switch where I'm making a living with a, online thing. So I wanted to ask the second question, like, how did you decide? Because, as I mentioned myself, like, it's really hard for me to really think, okay, without any experience, can I start working online? So, how did you decide you want to make the move online from what you were doing previously?
well, I think we had been looking for something. Our end goal was that we wanted to have a lifestyle, right? We wanted to create ourselves a lifestyle that allowed us to make our own schedules and kind of do what we wanted to do when we wanted to do it. And really, online was the only way that you could do that. And it just, the overall potential, right? It just made sense that you would go online. It has global reach. The internet just keeps growing. Social media keeps growing. So it was a no-brainer pretty much.
and there's a lot less cost owning an
Mhm.
online business versus a brick and mortar business or some other business venture that you may explore. Certainly a lot less cost, and you can get up and running really quick, and that was very attractive to us.
Yeah, like when I would first talk about what Glenda mentioned, I actually have my cover photo on my page where I say owning my time because I find that that is the biggest why I got into this, which was owning my time because for a lot of us parents we want to spend time with our families, but I also found that my husband he is in a brick and mortar business and found that we just don't have that time. Like, I wanted to build something now so he could slow down a bit because his job, his work is kind of physically demanding. He's in the hospitality. and hotel. And I mean, right now with the stuff, things are pretty bad with hospitality too. So online is the way. I definitely agree with both of you there. You know. Yeah. So I wanted to know, like, how do we, what do we provide here, about more about our business and training and setup? If you could give us more, insight on that, both of you. Yeah.
Sure. I mean, that was also the biggest part for us when we found this particular business, was that everything, there was so much provided for you, that there was going to be training, and the training is fantastic. Like, I was not expecting it to be as thorough and as easy to follow, right? It's mostly video based, so you can go at your own pace, and if you have to go backwards, you do. But everything was laid out for you, and that was a huge deal for us. And then I think also the fact that you would get your own coach, your own mentor. So someone that you could reach out to, a real person, and you could talk to them and you could ask them your questions and say, hey, I don't know how to do this, or I don't understand. And they'd answer you. That was a big deal, because there's so many businesses out there. They tell you that you're going to have support, but the reality is you don't. They kind of take
Yeah.
your money and you're left standing trying to figure it out on your own. So that was huge for us, I think.
And just to add on to that is that when we found this business, we were, really thrilled that it had an actual system, and that it had been running for, in operation for several years with success. And it was accessed and in the community with regular people. It wasn't just
Mm-hmm.
people who were really,
Technical, or that
technical or
they were.
anything like that. It was just real normal walks of life people having success with the system that was built for you.
Yeah, like I mean, you connect to the people and you see, okay, when they can do it, I can do it too. Like this gives you the confidence. I
Mhm.
feel like when I joined, from that time on, the community has grown so big, and people all over the world understand that online and digital is really expanding. Like especially in the past year, I think the traffic has moved so much online, and as you said, the only thing which stops us is we like thinking that can I do this. But and when I see everyday people stepping and doing it, then you can too, because the way our training, I think, I agree, like the training is set up for newbies. It's just set up for people who are like you and me, and I think that helped definitely. So yeah, so now I'm really excited, like thinking that you guys are doing this all the time, like as a full time online. So I'm sure like you have a lot of flexibility, you have time in your hands to pace it and do it. So has it impacted your life, like from what you were living your life maybe 2 years or 3 years down the line, and now, like
Yeah.
because this is something which is going to inspire and excite people, because everybody wants to live that kind of life.
Yeah. In my previous role, Tripty, I was working, 12 to 16 hours a day. I was gone from home many, many days in a row traveling, and I didn't feel, and we didn't feel that our time was ours. It was someone else always dictating it. So a great example, we went on, a 3-day trip in the last couple days here to the mountains. And just like that, we made the decision to do it and go. And we wouldn't have been able to do that
No.
before.
I mean, with our previous roles, I mean, then it was trying to figure out the time, if you could get the time off, and you would have to do so much work to get ready to take a day or two off. This was fantastic. Like Mark said, we looked at the forecast for the week. It looked nice, so we thought, let's go.
Yeah.
And we did. And I mean, that's what we were looking for. That was the lifestyle that we wanted to have, because we looked at the fact too, like for most people, you have to wait till you retire. So you have to
Yeah,
wait till you're 65 or 70 years old to retire before you can have that lifestyle. Then
yeah,
who knows how, you don't know what you're going to be like at that time, if you're going to be well enough and fit enough to enjoy it. So we really wanted to get to that point sooner rather than later. And online really seemed to be the best path for that.
Wow, yeah. I know, like having a life where you can do things on your own. Like, I mean, I think everybody of us are is looking for that. The time flexibility and yeah,
Well, for
completely.
sure.
Yeah.
I mean, it's and it doesn't have to be as that you get to take off on and do a trip, but you know what? You can do stuff during the day, right? Like you can go
Mm-hmm.
to get groceries when it's not busy. You can go get your hair cut, or you can do all these things that before I always had to do in the evenings or on the weekends, right? So
Yeah,
Or if you have young kids, so you're able to, spend more time with them and pick them up, take them to school, and attend music
yeah.
concerts and those kind of things without your job interrupting
to
you.
be present for everything, yeah.
Yeah, I feel like a lot of us live like a weekend mom or weekend parents lifestyle right now because everything your kids say, you have to say, okay, we'll do it on the weekend.
Right, right. They
Like,
try to
because
squeeze it
your
in.
days are so packed with that same routine of a 9 to 5, and then kids coming back from school doing that homework. And it's such a set routine. And this one, I find that's why, like, a lot of like, I am doing this from home for the last 2 years, but I also find people doing this with their full-time jobs where they know they can cut on those hours where they're putting overtime, or they're picking shifts on the weekends or in the late evenings because they want to add or supplement their income. So this is great, I feel, for people of all walks of life, basically to start build it up. And I mean, the potential is humongous. Like, you guys are doing this full time online and having a lifestyle which you wanted. So
Mhm.
my last question is there any set like things which people need to know or have, like a skill or language barrier or anything like which you think they need, or any words of encouragement? Because I feel like we have all those limiting beliefs sometimes which we carry, like am I tech savvy, or am I an immigrant here, so I don't know very well English, or things like that. Like, I always get those questions where people have those. So what is your words of encouragement for people who want to do this business? And yeah.
You know, I really don't feel that there's anything in any standing in anybody's way. I mean, if all you need is that desire, that willingness, that want to change, to make a better lifestyle, to have more in your life, more time, more money, more freedom, the whole thing, right? If you have that belief in you and you're willing to put some effort in, because this very much isn't a get rich quick. This is
Yeah.
a business like any other business, so you have to be willing to put the time and the effort in. And if you're willing to do those things, I really don't think anything stands in your way. I don't think that language barriers or anything like that is there. There's so many people in this community that, maybe if English isn't your first language, there's so many people to reach out and talk to and help and encourage you. So
And it's a global business that has global reach, and we have so many people from around the world in our business, and it just goes to prove that anybody can do this from any culture or any background or any of that. It's just truly a global business that's really portable and flexible and easy to start. And as Glenda said, though, you got to put a little bit of effort in, but the effort is different than maybe a traditional 9 to 5 kind of job. It's not as taxing.
and I do think too, over the last couple years, if anything has shown us, working online is completely doable. There is the technology like we're using today. There's,
Yes.
video conferencing. There's all these things that have made working online so much easier.
Learning so much easier.
Learning and all of that. There's really everything at your fingertips. So,
Yeah, thank you so much. I think I had a big learning curve too when from the time I've stepped in this, because, I have not never thought that I would be doing interviews, or I would be using social media the way I'm using today. But we are all using it in some way, but we're not leveraging it in the right way. That is what I think. Like, because we keep using social media. I see, like, there is no end to it with TikTok and people putting their videos everywhere, but leverage it in the right way. And I think that's what it is. Like, why not have fun and also earn from the same platforms?
Yeah,
So
you bet.
Yeah, so thank you so much, both of you. And we do have webinars which we hold every twice a week. And if you watch a replay and you would be interested in taking the next step to know more about our business community, how you to get started, then leave in a comment below. We can send you the link to register and watch the complimentary webinar. It's free and it helps you in understanding if this is for you. We also have business testimonies, all community coming and sharing, and the systems which we use to get you started. Is there anything else you would like to add, Mark and Glenda?
Well, I mean, the only thing I would say is that, it's upon yourself to look at opportunities and explore what's out there. And that's how we got started. We looked around, we found a great opportunity, and we jumped in. And, there's sometimes you gotta put your foot forward and make a decision, and or else
Yeah.
you'll never know what the potential of any business is.
Yeah.
Yes, definitely. I think, and a lot of people are also looking. Like this is a reality.
Hmm.
Like people are looking that they want to do something online or they want to do something where they can supplement their income or help their family's income. Like where there are moms who have young kids, people are really wanting to explore. And this is our best kind of a platform which we have here because there's support, there's training, there is it's secured business in terms it's been there for a while with we have the results, our systems work. So definitely, like I highly recommend like to get away on that edge of your fear. Like yesterday I was out with my kids, I took my kids to the park and I was chatting with this mom. She had young kids and we just started chatting and we were like talking almost an hour, and we ended up she telling me that she actually yesterday only went online and she was looking for something she could do from home, something she could do online. So I was like, see, the world, like people know they want something. It's just that that edge where they need to cross and take that opportunity when it's presented.
Yeah, I think at the end of the day, lifetime employment with an employer is a tough thing these days, as we've all witnessed and seen. The world can change in a hurry, and taking control of your own life and working online, is a great option for a lot of people.
Yeah, thank you so much for joining me today, Mark and Glenda. I really appreciate your time, and I think I loved getting all the insight in our business and sharing with everybody. So thank you so much. And it looks like a bit cloudy out today in
Yeah,
Edmonton. Yeah, but I wish you all, both of you, best rest of the day and enjoy your weekend. Thank you so much.
thanks so
Thanks,
much for
Tripti.
having us.
Thank you, everybody. Take care and bye bye.